Awesome. Good afternoon, everybody. Again, thank you for joining us for this week's live coaching call. Again, it is live if you're on the call. If you're watching this on a replay later down the road, know that these calls are done live. So make sure that you know that we're doing these calls each and every week, every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So if you guys are watching the replay to this call, uh, try and catch us online. Try and catch us online live just so you're able to come on these calls and ask your questions, get the insight you need, and we can actually do a live diagnose. So just kind of throwing out there for those that are watching these calls on the recorded replay. But if those of you that are joining us live right now, thank you so much for hopping on this call, making this call to be a really, really good practical call to where I'm hoping with the insight I'm going to be giving to you today. And it's nothing groundbreaking, guys. Most of the stuff that needs to be done today to be successful in your marketing is not really anything brown groundbreaking. Um, so again, we're going to hop in and hopefully give you guys some nuggets and then hopefully and have you guys go out and implement what we're teaching. So with that said, again, today's call is going to be about how to level the playing field with your marketing. Um, so this is kind of a combination of both getting started and a little bit of advanced stuff. So I'm hoping that regardless of where you are at the moment, you can apply something that you're going to get out of this call today. Again, we don't like to share stuff that is just sounds good or theoretically sounds good. We love covering topics that actually can make a difference for you, like today, right? If you're going to go out and if you're to go out and implement this today, can it make an impact? That's kind of the questions that I like to ask myself in preparing for these calls for you guys is, will this make an impact? So again, these are things that you definitely can go out and implement today and really help you in your marketing and help you best utilize the carrot system. So let's go ahead and get started. Before I do that, just need to find my water. My throat is already scratchy. So bear with me for just a second, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we actually go on and get started, can at least one or two persons on this call let me know you can hear and you can see my screen. My screen should say how to level the playing field with marketing. So if I can get one or two persons to let me know you can hear and see my screen, that would be awesome. And we can go ahead and get we can get going with this call too. So, all right. Awesome. Okay, cool. Dr. J, I can hear and see the screen. Great. Okay, that should be plenty enough. But if I can get one other awesome. Okay, Steven. Thanks, Steven. Mark, audio, and that's probably Chris Lopez. Awesome to have you on the call too. And yeah, excited to have you on the call, Chris. Definitely, Mark is just right there, ready to kind of break through where he needs to be to make sure he's crushing in your market. So awesome that you're helping him with that. Awesome, Roy, Jeanette. Okay, cool. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we got a lot of people letting me know they can hear my screen. So a little bit of housekeeping stuff. One of the things that we're really passionate about here at Investor Carrot is really content. Content that can really help make a difference. It's really what's built this company, and it's going to continue to build a company. But really, it's very, very effective. So some of the newest content, kind of getting ahead of myself, new content to check out over in the Carrot Cast side. Standing out from the crowd with brand storytelling with Ryan Fletcher. This is something definitely worth checking out, especially with us talking about what we're going to talk about today, how to level the playing field. So make sure you guys are going over to the Carrot Cast. You can actually find it through the blog section of, let me show you. Mine might be a little bit different than how you guys see it, but okay, here we go. Yeah, so if you guys head over to oncarrot.com/. carrotcast.com and you head over to the blog section, which should be an option in the upper right corner. Excuse me. You'll see the most recent articles. And right now, the two most recent is, again, one from the Carrot Cast. So just click on this, and it'll actually take you over to this particular show. So you can either watch it by video or listen it by podcast. And also, make sure that you guys are subscribing to our podcast. You have the option to do that here. Just subscribe, and if you're enjoying, you're getting a lot out of the the Carrot Cast, leave us a review. Actually, even if you're not enjoying the Carrot Cast and it's not, maybe you feel like it can be done better, leave that. Obviously, we want to get some feedback from you. But if you guys are really enjoying the weekly podcast or Carrot Cast that we're doing, let us know that. We want to make sure that it is something that's beneficial and is something that you guys are getting some major value from. So again, just head over to the blog and you'll see that here. Again, either watch it by video or listen it through podcast. And if you have not yet, subscribe to the Carrot Cast through iTunes or through Google Play. So, and then the other article is Bing. Bing ads for real estate, how to create an account the right way. So again, that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about today, is about really how to fully utilize and maximize the resources that are there, right? I know typically we like to focus on certain platforms like Google, like Google, but you'll be surprised how there are some other low-hanging fruit, and one of them is Bing, Yahoo. We just had a member ask a question about how to submit your information to Yahoo and Bing. So again, typically they're not where you want to fully emerge into your marketing, because again, Google is really who holds the majority of share as far as traffic goes. But again, if it's something that I know, I've gotten a few leads over the years through Bing, and I think actually, to be honest, if I remember right, one of my first deals, while I was still working on my SEO, when I was first getting started, actually my first lead came through Bing. I remember that very clearly. So, but again, something to check out. Again, these are two brand new content that you guys can check out and definitely be helpful and continue to educate yourself. So again, just real quick, for those of you who has not been on a coaching call before, this is your first time. And if this is your first time, please let me know. Would love to say hello and welcome you in. So if this is your first mastermind call or coaching call, excuse me, let me know. Just want to make sure that we acknowledge you and again, welcome you in. So why we do these calls, we know that anytime that you guys are implementing anything new, we do provide pretty much 3 levels of support to really help you crush it. And the way we do that first is the self-guided training, like the blog posts, like the 2 new content that I shared with you. Those are full of information, valuable information that you can kind of dig into and really apply. So our stories are just not stories, but it's strategy, it's insight, and definitely you get a lot of value out of that. Another example of self-guided training is the 3 lead per day training. I know most of you on this call have access to that. And if you don't, you can go check it out and pick it up over at inside the marketplace. But that training walks you through really step by step on how to optimize your website with SEO. Also, pay-per-click. Pay-per-click is a great way to start generating leads immediately, because you're buying yourself immediately to on page 1, because that's the objective, guys. Is if you really want to crush it with the internet, with Google, you have to be on page 1. There's really no other way to crush it with Google other than be on page 1. So SEO is one way to do that, but that's more of a process. It takes time. So you're basically earning yourself to page 1. PPC, you're buying yourself to page 1 through ads, but you still have to implement correctly. So again, these are that's one of our self-guided training and something that's there for you. So that's one of the ways that we help you. And the other is one-on-one help. These are our strategy calls. These do get booked up pretty quick, just kind of forewarn you. That's why it's so important to kind of get those scheduled as soon as possible, because they do get filled up pretty fast. And I know sometimes we have some people that are unhappy because they have to wait 2 or 3 weeks to get on that call. Unfortunately, it is what it is. We can only help so many people each and every day, and we can't reach everyone. So sometimes there will be that wait. But the third is these coaching calls. And the reason why we love these calls because this is your quick, immediate access to getting your questions answered instead of waiting 2 to 3 weeks. Don't get me wrong, I love the one-on-one strategy calls, but again, because there's such a wait, there's sometimes it's hard to get everyone it's hard to get in the same week that you're wanting to. These are the calls that you want to hop on each and every week like you are today. These are where we can answer these questions along with the training that we offer each and every week. So if you're stuck, got questions specifically to your lead generation, make sure you're hopping on these calls. This is going to be the quickest way to get your questions answered immediately. So, so again, this is the way that we provide the support to make sure that you guys are crushing it. So how do these calls work? We're going to probably run about hour, 2 hours, depending on how many questions they are. So we'll first dive into the training, and then we'll open up for Q&A. And also, once we do get to Q&A, one thing that we want to follow, make sure that we're following, please, if you are going to submit some questions, I need this information, which is your URL, what's your website address, what goal are you going after? That's one of the things that I feel like a lot of people are lacking is clarity on what they want to accomplish. I'm sure I can totally understand how some people have the perception that, okay, I got a website, okay, and that's it. That's all you need to do. That's a great start, but with a website, you got to work it. Just like a race car, you have the engine, you got all the important elements, you got a team, you got a plan. But if you can't put your feet to the pedal, you're not going to go anywhere, right? So got to have a goal. So if that's getting to page 1, or you're wanting to increase better conversions on your PPC campaign, or maybe you're having issues with your YouTube videos, you got to have a goal. So let us know what that goal is, and then also let me know what you've implemented so far. Okay, and then also any other questions you have on the topic. All right. Let's see. All right. So make sure you guys are coming prepared. Like I said, this is your quick access to your to answers. So make sure you're coming with questions. Even if you're stuck, that's cool. Just let us know, hey, I don't know what to do next, or whatever. Just let us know that. But just make sure that you're coming here with questions, or really ready to learn and implement, because that's the bottom line. You're going to get out of these calls what you put in. So I think I said that right. But again, just let us know with any roadblocks, questions, really anything that we can help you to dive in and make sure that you're crushing it. So live chat. Let's see, Joy. Joy, my chat is disabled, but actually it should be fine, because that's how you're able to submit that statement. So let me know that you're okay. Joy, let me know you can hear me. I want to make sure that you're on the strategy call. So, right. Yeah, I probably do need a cough drop for some reason. It might just be allergies too. But Terry, thanks for your concern. I think you're a concern for me, but thanks. Yeah, do need a cough drop. Let's see. Awesome. First call, Clark Shepard. Awesome. First time on coaching call. Awesome, Clark. So we welcome you in. Let us know where you're jumping on the call from, Clark. I always love knowing where our newbies are coming from. So let's see. Cool. All right. Yep. This is Chris. Awesome. All right, cool. So it looks like everyone has. Cool. All right. Yep. Felix, hi, my first call. Yep. Cool. Awesome, Felix. Felix's first call. So awesome to have you on the coaching call, Felix. And let me know where you're calling in from. Would love to know where that is. Michelle, first time. Great. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to continue to go through these here shortly, but looks like everyone pretty much has the chat. So you guys should see a little chat box there to the right of the video. All right, so just then that's where you can submit your questions. But it looks like everyone has a grasp on it. So cool. All right. Also, just one other thing before we hop in. If you're experiencing fuzzy screen, no problem. Just look at, you should see the little chat box there on the right side. Or excuse me, you'll see the little icon there on the lower right of your video screen. Just click on the settings and you should see some options as far as quality goes. And if you see an option that's better than the audio setting, just go ahead and choose that, just like in this demonstration, and you should be good to go. And also, one other thing that might be the issue is you might have too many tabs open on your computer. I know Chrome and really any browsers, most browsers really take up a lot of bandwidth, so that might be it too. And if you're still having issues, more than likely it's just your connection. But again, those are just some things that we tend to see is the most common issue, and hopefully that will fix your issue if you do have poor quality. So, all right, weekly dose of awesomeness. Love sharing these because these are really what to me keeps us inspired here at Investor Carrot. We love making an impact. We love knowing that people are benefiting from the service. And also just it's having an impact on their business too. So some weeks we'll share, some of the wins in terms of deals being done. But I like this one because this really reflects really how much the team really cares and really are in tune with the service that we provide. Now, are we perfect? No. I mean, we're still a growing company. There are always going to be little things that we might miss, but it shows us that we're human. But I just love the fact that I get to work with really awesome people who I sincerely do care for the success of each and every one of you. So I'm sure most of you have experienced our customer service through chat, maybe a strategy call, or just some type of connection. But just know that you have a team that's always working to make things better. So, but anyways, this came through from Alexander. I contacted Sean because I had an issue with testimonials being scrambled on my OnCarrot website. Sean quickly jumped on my issue and straightened out the page to full satisfaction. It's good to know that OnCarrot has such awesome team members who I can rely on to keep my website up and running. Thank you, Sean. I really appreciate your awesomeness. So Sean is actually in our design. He's our design expert. If you go through the quick start or even the VIP concierge, to where we offer completely 100% original content for copywriting, Sean is the guy that you'll talk to. So I believe Alexander did go through that concierge and was able to. We're able to help and jump in and making some corrections on his site. So, which is cool. So Alexander, thank you for letting us know that. And anytime that you guys have something that really sticks out to you, make sure you're letting us know that. Letting us know the deals that you're closing from your website. Letting us know that you got your first lead. To us, that's a victory. In itself. So obviously we want to do a lot more than that, but let us know how things are working out for you. And if there's anything that we can do for you guys, make sure you guys know that you can reach out to us anytime through support, live chat. And, so many times I see people waiting too long to get help. And then it's just harder to kind of get you out of that hole that was created. If you only had come to us first, could have really avoided a lot of headaches. So make sure that you guys are reaching out to our awesome support. Okay. All right, so let me see who else is brand new. Let's see. Awesome, Paul. Yeah, I didn't know this was your first call, dude. Yeah, we've talked a few times. So Paul said this is first coaching call, so that's awesome. Clark, Lexington, Kentucky, awesome. Louise, it's Terry's assistant. No, I got off being sick like for 2, 3 weeks. I got 3 little kids, so um, I definitely, I still battling a few stuff, but yeah, but hopefully you feel better, Louise. Feel better soon. All right, cool. All right, I think we're good. Anybody else? First time? Yeah, Felix. Felix also says Sean has been very supportive. I'm techie challenged, but determined to get on track. So awesome, sweet, cool. I'll let Sean know. But all right, I think we're good. So let's go ahead and get the call started. So with that said, I really want to kind of get Lois. Sorry, maybe I'm more sick than I didn't realize. Lois. Sorry about that. Everybody knows, those of you that have been coming on these calls, I'm terrible with names. Um, so English and grammar is not my forte. So if I'm the lead generation guy, not the not the English guy. But I'm sorry about that. We'll awesome. Gregory from Mobile, Alabama. Jeff Huntsman from Reading, PA, Berks County area. Awesome. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and get started, guys. So for those of you that looks like we have a lot of newbies, but for those of you that don't know me, my name is Adrian Nez. I am Carrot's first customer success hero. So since then, we've been able to bring on more success hero people on the team. So we got Andre, which most of you probably have chatted with many times through support. There's Pete. He's also a customer of Investor Carrot as an investor, but he's also on the team. So again, pretty cool to see Carrot grow, especially in the support team, especially in the customer success, because those are your front end people that's going to help you go through and be successful. So I love the fact that Trevor and really Investor Carrot is investing into you guys. That's one of the things that I love, because remember, I'm still a full paying customer. I don't really get any perks, and that's really was my choice, to be honest with you. That's how much I personally value the system, so I want to pay for it. But as a customer, it's really cool to be using a service that's going to always be innovating. Well, it's always improving, and of course, always reinvesting itself into always making sure that we as customers don't outgrow the platform. So that to me, that's pretty cool. I'm also head of customer strategy. That's simply because, again, I'm probably one of Carrot's first 50 customers. So I've been using it for a while, and I've been very successful with it. I've been kind of implementing my methodology, which is really, I love inbound marketing. I love psychology. I think it's a big part of what marketing is you have to understand psychology, and kind of combining that, and also being an investor, primarily wholesaling. Just all those things combined has really helped me really kind of dominate the markets that I'm in. And I'm in some very small markets. I'm also in very big markets. And I've had the privilege to work with a lot of different investors all across the country and really help them with their lead generation and really help them and their team take it to the next level. So very experienced. That's what really qualifies me to teach you guys each and every week. And I just simply love the Carrot system, because that's been really the biggest part of what's helped me be successful. So again, I'm a full-time investor, entrepreneur. Just some quick fancy stats. Again, I've been generating I've been generating real estate leads online, just simply using the Carrot websites and video. I've been a full-time investor since 2009, primarily wholesaling, but I do have rental property, so I'm more of a cash flow guy. I am looking for my first rehab. I've been looking for a while, but then I kind of stepped back from it. But there's just a really good opportunity in my local market, so it's pretty cool to kind of be on the other end, to be more of a buyer and really see the importance of a wholesaler, because now I'm kind of dependent on that in my local market, because I just started in my local market, so I haven't really charged up that yet. But we're progressing very, very well. So I just moved to Wilmington, North Carolina about a year ago. Wasn't really sure if I was going to stick around here. We kind of did a test run, but we really like it here. So now we're committed for sure. So that's why I kind of held off on starting any type of marketing in my own backyard until recently. But I am in multiple markets, and we're probably presently doing anywhere from 5 to 10 deals a month, just strictly wholesale. And then we probably do about between 1 and 3 bird dog deals each and every month. So between that, we stay pretty busy. But the cool thing is I have a really awesome team that kind of take care of everything that allows me to do what I do, which is teach, which is one of my passions, is teaching other investors about inbound marketing. Again, self-proclaimed beach bum, but also took on golfing, beginning to really love that. Had my first golf lesson with a pro last week, which went really awesome. So now I'm hooked, and I had a chance to play golf with Don. I think Don's on this call. We met up in Panama, not Panama City, Florida, but Panama, the country. Had a chance to speak at an event up there on inbound marketing. Got some golf time in, and that was pretty cool. So again, that's who I am. Anytime you guys need help, I'm usually the go-to guy with strategy. So you guys are always making sure you reach out to me, and would love to dive in and help you. So let's go ahead and get right in. Carrot question. Okay, let's see. This Awesome. Okay. So carrot question. So here's the thing too, guys. The reason why I really wanted to cover this question is really kind of help you understand the concept. Okay. Help you understand the concept of my thinking. So this question is not necessarily about rent to own, but just kind of the concept. So here's a question that came through. Actually, I just helped with someone on this just this morning. I want to get a rent to own site, which I will use for selling property and getting new leads. And they were talking about new leads for tenant buyers. But shall I use my rent to own site for finding deals for rent to own sellers? So basically, I thought this would be a really good lesson to really help you understand the concept. So basically what this person was talking about is they want to pick up this website that we offer, which is a rent to own, which I have one myself. Okay, so obviously they're thinking the right pattern or process is using this site to first generate leads for new tenant buyers, but also to showcase their current deals. You guys ever want to just go directly to your property list? Just go to put in /property. Okay, so basically they're wanting to use the site to promote their current deals they're offering on terms, and they're also going to use the site to pick up new leads for tenant buyers. So now his question was, can I use the same website to generate leads for sellers who want to sell on rent to own terms? So basically this carrot member wants to find sellers who are willing to sell on terms. So this is what I explained to him, and I really thought it'd be a good thing to explain on this call is you have to, but here's my answer to them. I said, no, I use my motivated seller site, all my lead generation for sellers. Doesn't matter if it's cash or creative. Creative meaning that I want to buy the house on subject to or rent to own terms. Okay, because the thing is, this will get so confusing. Again, it's about psychology. The reason why we separate all the websites for the type of leads is really to avoid confusion. So I could never use this site. I would never use this site to generate leads for sellers because there's too much terminology that can confuse a seller. Okay, when you begin to have a seller think too much, you lose them. Okay. That's why if you can focus a website that's just for one type of lead, you're going to be a lot more successful. Okay. So so for me, my answer, I said no. I find all my sell, at least in this market. This is just one of my many sites, but I would use my seller site um, for everything, even those selling on rent to own terms. But here's the thing: um, most people, remember, when they're looking for a solution, they have cash on their mind. Okay, nothing else. That's what they have in their mind. So when you begin to start talking about certain terminology like sell your house on terms or sell your house on rent to own terms, or these creative things that we talk about, you really potentially could lose them. Okay, because even though that might be their best solution, they don't know that yet. So you have to make sure that, to me, so for me, I like to use cash as kind of my bait. And I hate to use that word because it sounds like I'm tricking them. I'm not, but I like to. Cash is always the best way to get conversation going. Okay. And then once you kind of dive into their situation and you begin to see that these other options are their best options, then it's easier to present from them. Because if you throw at them that you can buy on terms, you're going to lose them because they're biased to selling a house for cash. The only way that they're going to change their mind is if they know it themselves. So here's a good example. One of the last few deals that I've done in creative terms is they call us and they want cash, and we do our own due diligence, and we find out that a cash deal just doesn't work. Just maybe they owe too much, whatever reason, a cash just doesn't work. So but we go back to them and say, hey, we sorry, I know you're looking for cash, but we don't we just can't do it. Here's the comps. I show them proof. Here's the comps. So, and then a lot of times they'll say, I know I can sell this house for cash. I know it. No, thank you. Because we say we can't help you with cash or buying this house with cash, but here we do have some other options that can help you, right? So, and now what happens is now they're going to go out and try and sell that property, and reality is going to set in for them, because as long as they're talking to other people, they're going to find out, as long as they're talking to other people that know what they're doing, they're going to get the same answer as you gave them, right? But what's the chances of these other people giving them options like you did? So what happens, they always will circle back around and say, hey, we spoke 2 weeks ago. Can you tell me more about that option? Because now reality set in. So for me, people are going to always, here's my point. People are going to always be biased thinking that they're going to always be able to sell the property for cash. So when you put that on your website on the front end, I personally believe you're going to lose them. I really do, because they're going to move on saying, I don't want to sell on terms. And then what happens, they feel like you couldn't help them, so they move on to another website. So again, that's psychology. So you always kind of keep that in mind as you're marketing. That's why I'm so big on that psychology part, is that you got to dig into the emotions of who you're targeting, what their objections might be, how they may react, what's plan B, what's their plan B. If they can't sell to you, are they going to go to someone else? So those are the things you always want to kind of always have in place, and knowing, and because a lot of times you may not get them on that first try. They may come back around to you because you set yourself up for them to come back around to you. So I personally don't really use anything complicated on my websites that says we buy. My job is to get them on the phone, then I can sell them on that term. So, but hopefully that helps. That's kind of a little bit of real estate advice, but also kind of wanted to show you the concept of what you got to be careful and how you communicate, because if you communicate something that's over people's heads, you can lose them. So the safest way is just use your motivated seller site and just market that you buy for cash. That's at least going to get them through the door. And then from there, you can make those other transitions into creating or offering other options besides cash. Okay, so just a marketing tip. So hopefully that helped. But if you got more questions on that, you can shoot them through as well. But Let's go ahead and dive right into the training. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Awesome. Grace. Hey, Grace. Grace has been faithful in getting on these calls each and every week. Yeah. Hey, Dawn. Dawn is here. So, all right. Cool. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and get started on this training. So let me ask you this, and I would love some participation, please. I really want to know where everybody's at, so we can really um, hammer in on where everybody's at, because this is something I wanted to be something you guys can apply based on where we are. I don't want to get too far ahead of you guys, but at the same time, I don't want to get too basic with you guys. So if you guys can let me know where you guys at, what are you guys stuck on? What is it that you guys are struggling with the most? Okay, we're not going to really evaluate your websites right now, but just give me some feedback on where you guys are at. Are you lost? Are you where are you at? Are you implementing SEO? Just tell me where you guys are at, and I kind of want to use that to really let this whole call play out, to really so we're specifically hitting on you guys' specific situation. So let me know. But here's a good question. Why not have one master website and utilize subnames or sections with blah, 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 blah? In my experience, well, yeah, but cool. So here's a question. Why not have one master website and utilize subdomains or sections with niche focused content or opt-in boxes? In my experience, Google will favor more content rich websites, assuming relate content. So yeah, so Chris, so the reason why, first of all, the way that we kind of teach is really based on data. Okay, we do a ton of testing in-house. That really is what drives what we teach, because we don't like to teach on theory. We like to teach based on what the data shows. So one, data has shown that conversion. So there's one aspect, and I'm sure you notice, you sound like an experienced person, but lead generation is really about two things: traffic and conversion, right? So conversion, traffic, yeah, any website, as long as you implement, as long as you're paying for ads or you're getting on page one, a website will always get rankings, okay, as long as you're implementing. But where one of the biggest things we found is conversion. You're going to be able to convert a lot better when you have one website dedicated to that one lead, because one, it keeps them focused, and of course the website becomes more relevant. Okay, and we just have found that websites that tend to be all in one, and I totally know you're talking about subdomains, but anytime that you have a website that's all built in one, it can create a lot of distraction. And in the real estate world, we don't want a seller seeing that we offer discounted properties, and vice versa. We don't want our cash buyer to kind of know our secret sauce and how we're marketing. Okay, so now as far as your rich content, you're absolutely right. So that's why all of our websites, especially the Motivated Seller, is still rich in content, but it's one website. And the reason why one of the reasons why our websites convert very well is simply because once you get this person to the site, whether it's through SEO, whether it's through pay-per-click, whether you're driving traffic through social media, video, however, our website gives them the ability to have them engage and builds rapport. So what I mean by that is, so let's say they come here, and then now if they navigate here, we're talking about the same thing. If they navigate here, the message is still relevant. So the website is built on a lot of rich content already. So we've built out the content. So that really kind of meets Google's criteria. But also we set up separate pages strategically. So if someone or a motivated seller wants to engage, again, we want them to feel trust. So we feel like all their questions are answered, then they'll engage. So it's more psychology, and why we provide so much content, and why we provide different pages that they can freely navigate. Okay. As far as a subdomain, Usually, at least the ones I've seen, the subdomain is just one page or just a few pages. And when you kind of confine someone who's looking for information to just one or two pages, that's not really, that can kind of lack that trust that they're looking for. Like, okay, why just two pages, right? I like sending them to a full website because now they can engage as much as they want. Now, some of them will easily fill out the form very quickly. That's okay. That's cool. But there's going to be a lot of people that we have found that want to dig in as much as possible. They want to click on your company page and they want to know who you are. They want, if they have questions, we have a FAQ page. Testimonials, they want to know what other people's experiences with your company's been. So the fact that they can navigate freely a full website and not just one or two pages, we have found that right there in itself builds rapport. It builds trust. Now they're able to engage because here's the thing. Most sellers know what we do. That's why they did a search. So something triggered them taking action. So they know what we do. Now they want to learn about the process. They want to know that this is legit. They want to know this is not a scam, or they simply want to know what the process is. So when you send them to a full website and they can navigate freely, we've just seen that really, really doubles conversions versus just a one or two page that talks about, even though it's maybe relevant, if you just kind of confine them, that has a lot of impact on conversion. So, but hopefully that makes sense. I threw a lot at you, so hopefully that made sense. So, all right. All right, let's see where kind of everybody's at. All right, give me just a second, guys. I'm reading through everybody's thing. All right, cool. A lot of good submissions. All right. Let me just clean up some stuff here real quick, guys, just so I'm getting to all your questions. All right, Michelle, awesome. This is Michelle's first time on a mastermind call. Awesome to have you, Michelle. Okay. Cool. Speaking of testimonials, the OnCarrot site, the coaching calls work. Awesome. Cool. All right, cool. All right, just going to get an idea where everybody's at. So I think a lot of clarity will come from this call. So, I'll be able to kind of tie in some of the feedback that we're getting. So awesome. So again, this call is really about helping you level the playing field. One of the biggest, seems like a lot of people tend to get stuck, is really based on their budget. Okay. A lot of people tend to base too much on their ability based on their time they think they have available. And then also too many people are, and again, this is not a knock. I just really want to help those that what I'm saying will help kind of break that mindset. So for me, I see so many people kind of put too much on the lack of budget they have and the lack of time they have. And which again, it does help to have a budget. And actually you do need some type of budget. One of the things with real estate investors we tend to fall into, and I heard this from one of my mentors. She really kind of said something that really kind of really opened my eyes to have a mindset shift. So she said how as real estate investors, we probably got into this business because we were taught, it was ingrained into us that you can buy houses without any money, without money out of your pocket, with no money down, right? So there's this mentality that appealed to us that we can buy real estate with no credit, no money down. You can buy real estate even if you're broke, as long as you're creative, right? So, but here's the problem. Now, too many of us has taken that same mentality and put it into and towards into your marketing. Okay. With marketing, you can't have that mindset. In marketing, you have to put work into it. You have to have money to put into it. Now, as far as starting with a limited budget, that's fine. Work with what you have to work, but you have to invest something. Okay. And if you don't, and if you don't have the budget to invest, then you got to invest your time. So what does that mean? So if you have very little flow or cash to work with, and you got to do it yourself, um, you got to do what you got to get over those barriers. Okay. Most of you probably have heard us talking about Brittany Bowling. She's an investor out of Baltimore, Maryland. And when I first introduced her to Carrot years ago, she was working a full-time job. I think at that time she only had one daughter, single mom, working a full-time job. And she heard something about, we met in a group. Um, I think it was a some type of lead generation group that we were part of, and I was explaining how I'm generating all my leads with with no direct mail. So she came to me and said, "Hey, I want to do what you're doing, you know." So introduced her to Carrot, and then she started. But here's kind of my point: single mom working a full time job, and she couldn't hire anyone to do SEO. She couldn't hire anyone to do really any of the stuff she was doing. So what she did is, as soon as she got home, did her family thing, did her daughter motherly thing. Her daughter went to school, went to sleep at 8, 9 o'clock, and then from 8 to 9, from that time to midnight, she hustled. She hated SEO. There's a lot of times that she almost quit, but you know what? She just made a point to learn about SEO. As much as she thought she was technically challenged, as much as she thought she couldn't get it, she made it work. Because one, she knows that it had to be done because she wanted to dominate Google. She wanted the leads to come into her because she didn't want to do direct mail. She didn't want to do bandit signs. So she really dug in and did what she had to do because she had no other ways of generating leads other than her website. So if that meant um, even if that meant her going outside of our training and Googling additional information, that's what she did. So she made it work. And eventually, 8 months later, she start she got herself on page one and she started doing deals. She was able to quit her job. Uh, just everything changed. And there's times where she wanted to quit. So here's my point. Didn't want to draw out that story, but she did what she had to do. And that's one thing that you have to understand. In marketing, you got to do what you got to do. Okay. You can't have that same real estate investor mentality, no money down, no money out of pocket. Yes, it's true. That's why I love this business, but you can't have that same mentality with your marketing. You got to put something into it. If not money, it's going to have to be your time. If you don't really have the time, then you got to hustle that 30 minutes or 1 hour that you do have to work with and really think outside the box. But it's the only way that you're going to make this work. Okay. So, but again, there's just this mentality that I don't have a budget, or my competition has a bigger budget than me. But that's the cool with marketing, is that marketing, you can totally level the playing field. Like so many times, this is kind of our mentality. We think that things are unbalanced because we don't have a budget, we don't have the time, but really you do. And that's one thing I love about marketing, and I've been able to do it. So I'm not just telling you guys theory. I really was able to accomplish this, and now I do what I do because I put into work. And now, my website works for me 24/7, and I'm able to have a full-time real estate team that does what they do. Again, I'm doing 5 to 10 deals. That's probably not much to some people, but I'm doing 5, 10 deals a month without my hand into it. Did it take time? But yes, but I put a lot of work into the front end. So I know it's doable, for sure. So again, it's about leveling the playing field, but I just really wanted to get that out of the way first. And for those of you that's been with Carrot, let's say about a year, and it's still not generating what it should be generating, something's wrong. Okay. You're Something is absolutely wrong. If you guys are not getting the results that you're getting from Carrot, something is absolutely wrong. And more than likely, it's our input. And I don't mean that to be a jerk, or maybe just call it more tough love, but usually the issue that we have these days is more of an input issue. Okay. That's why I love what Carrot has to offer. I mean, they brought me on the team just so you guys get that strategy help. And most companies don't do that. I mean, you can look at other website companies. Yeah, they can provide you with great CRM, or they might provide you with a cheaper option in terms of a website. But trust me, they're not providing you with the expertise that Carrot does. So make sure you guys are tapping into the resources that you have available to you when it comes to Investor Carrot. So, but again, we want to help you find ways to level the playing field. But again, it's going to take a lot of the work. It's going to take work. If that means, so again, kind of like that race car thing I was telling you guys about, press on the pedal or you're going to stay parked, because I feel like what Carrot is a fine-tuned machine, but you still have to drive it. Okay. So I really hope that really helps kind of the mindset that maybe somebody has on this call. If it helps one person, awesome. To me, it was worth it, even though it was tough love. Got to get the work in. You got to change that mindset, and you got to get to work. So, so again, I don't want to come across like I'm calling out people, but here's a perfect example. This email just came in a couple of months or earlier this week. And I blocked out their names and didn't want to feel like I was calling them out. We registered at Investor Carrot for the past months, and I've been working on their website for around 2 months or more or less. But it looks like it doesn't look good yet. I really don't have any knowledge on how to create the website thing. Not certain is you can you check our website and maybe get some feedback and maybe possible suggestions. I need help. I really need help. So this person's website, they kind of got into perfection mode. Okay. And that's one of the things I really want to tell you guys is you got to get out of perfection mode. It's about marketing. That's one of the cool things with Investor Carrot websites is that you guys already have a great jump start. All you have to do is do some simple modification, simple personalizations, and you guys should be in marketing mode. And that's one of the things we talk about. It's not about perfection. It's about production. It's about working on those tasks that's going to start bringing in leads, not something that's going to make you look good. Okay. Or making sure your logo is great. Or what CRM should I be on? Those are the things that are not going to generate leads for you. Those are something you definitely need, but cross that bridge until you get there. Okay. So don't get into perfection mode. And I looked at this person's website, and there's nothing wrong with their website. They're just trying to get it perfect, and they weren't moving or progressing to where they're getting into marketing. So a lot of the stuff that tends to hold us back is more of a mindset thing. So make sure you guys are in marketing mode, not perfection mode. Okay. So anyways, just kind of make sure that you guys really kind of hope that helps. Okay. Again, I just felt like I really, really had to say that based on maybe this. So anyways, so if you guys are ready to take some action, let's get this call started. Enough of the lecturing. I feel like I was lecturing, so don't mean to do that. But anyway, so here's one of the things I would really love for you guys to do. Now, this call is about leveling the playing field. Okay. This means is that you're going to do more than your competition. And I didn't say spend more. Okay. You notice I said you're going to do more than your competition, especially if you guys don't have the right, if you guys don't have that budget to work with. Because trust me, if you guys start doing deals, your budget's going to be there. Like for me, I remember, like I just signed up for a CRM that's costing me $200 a month. Man, trust me, like 3-4 years ago, that was like a ton of money. Like I just couldn't fathom. I just couldn't even think about paying that much for a CRM. Like that was like $1 million to me. But now it's nice that we can freely, without thinking, be able to have that as a monthly expense because we're there now. So trust me, it's all worth it. So again, this call is about doing more and not saying you got to spend more, but you got to take action. All right. So first thing that I want to really cover is find ways to be creative, but it's going to help you be effective. So here's an idea that I would love to throw this at you. Every person on this call has a cell phone. I guarantee every person on this call has a cell phone. Okay. Let me know what you guys, Grace, we love you. We forgive you. Grace is one of those people that I given some tough love to, but man, I love her because she takes action. So, thanks, Grace. But every person on this call has a cell phone. Let me know, everybody, what phone do you guys have? What phone do you guys have that you guys are using? Real quick. Real quick, guys, let me know what cell phones you guys have. Is it an iPhone? Okay, so, all right. So everybody has a phone. Okay, so one of the first things I would love for everybody to do is, okay, so Samsung, iPhone, Samsung Galaxy, iPhone. Cool. Okay. All right. And who uses Dropbox? Anybody use Dropbox? And Dr. J, iPhone and Nexus 5. That's a baller right there. Steven. Just kidding. No, 4. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, looks like everybody is cool. All right. So here's the thing. Everybody in this call has a phone. So that's a resource for you guys. Okay. That's a resource that you guys have a lot of power that's right in the tip of your hands, literally. Not figuratively, but both literally and figuratively. So one of the things that I want you guys to do is the next time you guys are out, and maybe you guys can do this. Amazon has them really cheap. Go to Amazon.com and find a mount holder. Okay, something. I don't want you guys holding your phone. That's too dangerous. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is go out and buy a mount holder. Amazon has them really cheap, but if you want to pick one up at Walmart, I'm sure they have it pretty decent price. Best Buy, wherever you guys shop, pick a mount up. Now, here's the thing: you got to stop being afraid of the camera. If you guys want this bad, you got to be not afraid of the camera. Do not let your speech, do not let your whatever's hindering you from doing it, because if you guys want to be successful and you want to do what your competition is not doing, you gotta do this. Okay, so so I'm gonna push you guys. So gotta be stop being afraid of the camera. So what I want you guys to do is the next time you guys go look at a property, or you guys are just driving for dollars, okay, I want you guys to shoot a 1 minute, 2 minute video. Okay, 1 minute, 2 minute video, and I want you guys to introduce yourself. That brings transparency. Anytime that it's in our society, anytime that someone says hey, hello, and they extend their hand, there's some type of principle to that really brings trust. For the most part, I mean, some of us, we can shake their hand and we know something's off. So I'm not talking about that, but I'm just saying, psychology wise, there's just something about an introduction, okay, and letting know who you are. Okay, so shoot a video that what you guys are going to do is introduce yourself. Hope you guys are taking notes. Introduce yourself, and what I want you guys to do is, and then talk about what you're doing. So if that means, hey, I'm driving this neighborhood because or I'm not sure that's a good example, but the next time, like, here's a good example. Frank, he's someone I work with very closely out of Florida. So he's on his way to he got a lead, so he's talking about that lead. So hey, my name is Frank Heron. Just wanted to shoot video. I'm actually on my way to go meet Eve. I think he called out the name, so make it personal. I'm out to meet Eve. Eve she submitted her information on our website. So now we're gonna go out and talk to Eve. She stated that she's going through a divorce and she needs a quick close, which we're able to do. They want to settle, and they want cash, which we're able to do. So you kind of see how you're finding opportunities to insert the situation into the service you provide. And what you're going to do is just talk about that. Most of us are not good writers. Okay, so many of us get into blocker. We kind of get into a slump when we try and sit down and write articles. We don't know what to say. We don't know what to write about. So this way, you're creating content. Okay, so just talk. Don't be concerned with saying the wrong things. Just be real, be yourself, and even say that in the video. Say, hey, this is not a professionally produced video. Be transparent. Don't be afraid to be transparent. If there's a screaming kids in the background or something, laugh about it. That shows you're real or something like that. Okay. So anyway, so you're going to create that video. You're going to create the video, and what you're going to do is just talk about what you do. Make sure that you insert a few times how, if you want to sell your house fast, or, we are local cash buyers right here in Tampa, Florida, or Wilmington, North Carolina. Remember, these are things that we're going to later transcribe. That's going to add a layer of optimization on YouTube. Okay, so be strategic in your transcript, but at the same time, be real. But make sure that you're including your name, the location you're serving, and then also the situation that you're helping in. Make it as personal as possible. Just like with Frank, he mentioned, hey, I'm going to go see Eve. She just gave me a call, or she submitted her information on my website at blah, blah, blah. And then just kind of go into the story, and then how you're able to help other people just like Eve. Because again, one of the things that I love about marketing is social proof. If people can show that they fit in the category of a group that, people tend to follow the herd. That's why if you can say, hey, Eve is the fifth person that's called me this week that we're helping, that social proof. Because then what happens is people get into that thinking, oh, wow, Frank's in the back of their mind. Wow, Frank's helped 5 people this week. Wow. He must be trustworthy. He must be legit. Because remember, now they're going to follow the herd. That's what I mean by follow the herd. Again, it's all psychology. Okay. So I don't know what your script's going to be, guys. That's something you guys kind of have to work out, and reach out to me if you need some help. But again, that's something that you really need to really think out. But to me, change it up, or better yet, get a what do you call those selfie sticks? Go in front of a house. Get the customer's permission, or get the seller's permission if nobody's home, or find a vacant property. The next time you guys find a vacant property, get in front of the house, and talk. Here's an idea for someone. Find a vacant house. Okay, and then get a selfie stick, and then do a story or do a piece on why vacant houses tend to be the most broke-in houses. Why having vacant houses is really, you're asking for trouble. Okay, so again, some type of tip article, or article that talks about why you shouldn't have a vacant house, why they're prone to burglary, why. So you really want to paint a picture of something that's going to cause them to take action. Okay, and you're using a real life prop, which is the vacant property. Okay, so again, what happens? You just produce content on vacant properties, and you educate it on why you should not, if you're a homeowner, why vacant property is prone to burglary or vandalism. Okay, and then so you just created content. So that's one idea. So you guys kind of get the point. So you guys are going to shoot video, but change your props. I think the days of going to Fiverr is old. That's kind of run its course. Okay. The whiteboard videos, I think they run its course. Okay. So you got to change things up that is changed up. So to me, if you can do a video inside of a car, or better yet, in front of a vacant property like I showed you, or if you have access to a house that's empty or no one's in there, do a walkthrough. Look around. That kind of breaks the pattern, because those are videos that are great, that there's movement, there's talking. It breaks up pattern. It gets people curious, especially if you're putting the video on Facebook. Okay, so that's what I would, again, some really quick ideas on how to shoot video. Okay, so now you guys have shot the video. Now what you're going to do is take that video, and you guys are going to upload it to Dropbox. And what I do personally is I have Dropbox as an app on my phone, and when I shoot a new video, let me just double check. So I have an iPhone 7. So what I'm going to do is I go into my photos, I click on the video or photo, and there's that little oh, actually, you know what? Let's see. I might be saying that wrong. I'm just trying to show you how to upload. Oh, perfect. So you're actually going to go into the Dropbox app, and what you're going to do is there's a big plus button at the bottom. You're just going to click that. You're going to put upload photos. Okay, with Dropbox they don't save videos, but because in the iPhone, all your videos and photos are saved in the photo folder. So you're just going to do upload files, and then just find the video that you're going to upload, and then choose your folder. I would create a folder that says Carrot website or marketing, however you want to do that. So what you want to do is I'm going to go ahead and find a folder. Okay, and then let me see. I'm going to create a folder right now. Let's see. I'm just walking this through, so I don't want to just have you guys figure it out. If I can figure it out for you guys and save you time, I want to do that. So I'm going to create a folder. Okay, see, you see on my screen, I added a new Dropbox folder. So I'm just going to go ahead and add. I'm going to add that. I'm going to add a folder. Okay, and then it's going to ask you to set location, and then boom, that folder will be in there. So this will help you a lot better, guys, to better organize, and it's going to help you create a process and a system. This is what's going to make things, because if you guys are all over the place, you're not going to want to do it. How many times do we stop something because it's unorganized? Okay, so this is why it's so important that I do it this way. Or if you guys have Google Drive, that's fine, but find something that will allow you to upload directly from your phone into the cloud, which might be for some of you guys iCloud, for some of you might be Dropbox, some of you might be Google Drive. But find something that you can systematically upload into that drive, okay? Just so you have it, and so once you get to your desktop, you can always reference back to it. You can quickly retrieve it without being stuck on your phone, because you don't want your phone to become the bottleneck of you getting this done. So that's one of the things I've learned, is that when I try to do things on the whim, or I wing it, the task is not fun at all, and I actually procrastinate because I'm just so unorganized. So part of this is I want you to systemize this, so you know it's easy, quick, and once you do a video, you have this whole thing you can follow, and you can also if you bring someone into your business, this is the same system or process that they can follow. Okay, so again, so the first thing you're going to do is shoot that video. Next thing you're going to do is you guys are going to go over to rev.com. Okay, this is the website here, rev.com. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to submit your video over to them. Okay, you're going to submit your video over to them, and they're going to transcribe your entire video. Okay, they're going to now here's another thing too, guys. If you guys are not comfortable on the video, and my inspirational speech didn't help, but you guys just don't want to do video, that's fine. you still use your phone and just create an audio recording. Create an audio recording, or just do it, because a lot of times most of us can speak freely. So if we can just talk, like what I'm going to do, like here's what I'm going to do. I'm really going to increase um, my blog stuff, but I'm not a good writer, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to usually I like to just get my phone and just talk freely, and then I'm going to use that audio file and take it to Rev, and they're going to transcribe into text, and that's my blog post. Like here's a good example. My golf lessons. It was really cool because I thought I was just going to go. This guy's going to teach me how to hit the ball. It's plain and simple, right? But I was so wrong. He started asking me a lot of questions, about what is it about golf that I like? What's my goal? I mean, what you want to accomplish? I mean, is this a sport? Are you doing this for casual? Are you doing this for business meetings? Whatever. I mean, I found it really intriguing that he was probing me for my goals, because that's what I teach too. And then he asked me, a bunch of other stuff. And here was his thing. He said that I want to teach you how to play this game according to you. And to me, that was such genius, because not everyone has the same aspirations to play golf. Everyone's different. Okay. But he wanted to teach me according to me. And I thought it was so good. And then also, I thought I was going to go swing the ball, but then he had to break down how I need to grip. I had to learn how to grip first before I learned how to swing. So I found a lot of business principles through the way he was teaching me golf. So I want to write a blog post on that. So, but if I were to sit down on my desk and try and write that out, I hate typing. I'll be honest. I hate typing. I'm not a good grammar guy. But what I'm going to do is I have it on my calendar. I'm just going to get my phone and I'm just going to talk into the audio and just explain everything. And I'm going to take that and then have these guys transcribe it. There's my blog post. I mean, of course, I'll still clean it up, but it's my blog post. Okay. And then later I can create, if I want, I can either do it by video or, so, I mean, there's so many opportunities that I can run with when I repurpose that blog post. Okay. So this is where you guys are going to go and repurpose that into text. Okay. That rev.com. Then from there, you guys are going to make a blog post out of that. That's one of the cool things that we do a lot here at Investor Carrot. So here's a good example. Let me go back to our website. Okay. All right. So here's a good example of how we do this here, how we do this at Carrot. So Trevor does a video. And also, if you guys are, this was part of my presentation. If you guys are doing offline marketing, you guys have to read this blog article. This article is awesome. If you guys are doing direct mail, bandit signs, radio, TV, you have to watch this video, and that's what it says here. And you can really utilize your website to fully maximize your offline marketing. So if you guys just go over to the blog section, and it's the 4th article down here. Who's this guy right here? You guys have to check this out too on hiring an assistant. You guys have to get help. You guys need help. I'm not talking about a VA, but personal assistant. It doesn't mean you guys have to, if you got a couple $100, it's well worth it, but that's a whole different thing. You come here, it's here. So if you guys are doing direct mail, got to read this. Okay. But anyways, here's a great example. So we created this video first. Okay. And then we took this video and transcribed it. We had it transcribed into text, and see how we basically used the text into a blog post, and we still added the video inside the blog post. So you'll be amazed, guys, how many people don't want to watch video, or they're not in a position to watch video. That's why you always have to provide text. Okay. You have to provide text, because if this person's on your website from home, or excuse me, from work, not home. Or let's say they're on a bus or somewhere out and about. Maybe they're in the public library and they're looking for help. They can't watch a video. You still need to provide text. And plus, by having a combination of both can actually help boost your website. That's why I told you that in your video, make sure that you're mentioning your city, because we want your city to be optimized. We want the blog post to be optimized for your city. We want some of the keywords in your content, but they have to flow very smooth. Okay. So that's why I'm saying think out the process of creating your context. Okay. So that's why if you guys need help, let me know. But that's really simple, really, really simple. And that's all you're going to do. Then what you can do is see how there's a text. This is the video. Okay, there's a video. And then right here, we all we took is a screenshot of the video and made it into an image, and we still use it on the same blog article. So now, remember how we can optimize an image with alt text? Again, that's another opportunity to add a layer of optimization to your blog. You see how everything started just by having this one video, right? So, so that's awesome. So again, that's really all you're gonna do. And I mean, if you want to provide different images that talk, like this section talks about retargeting, we took a snapshot of at the exact moment Trevor was talking about retargeting in that video. Okay, so that kind of extends and adds additional visuals, and then also adds images that we can also optimize on the back end for that blog post. Okay, so you get it? So it's really, really, really cool on how you can do that. Again, it's a lot of work, but this is one way you can outwork and really outsmart your competition, because trust me, nobody's doing this. Nobody's doing this. Okay, and then now once you've gotten this blog post made, man, share the heck out of that post on social media. Okay, share the heck, share that blog post on social media. How many times have you guys shared an ad or liked an ad on Facebook? Probably none. But how many times did you guys share an article that was helpful, or you liked an article that was helpful? Okay, that's why social media is very, very effective when it comes to content. Okay, and I'm gonna, in one of my slides, I'll show you how to boost that a little bit later. But social media is a great way. And also, the reason why I want you guys to upload your what time is it? Man, time goes going by so fast. One reason why I want you to upload your video to Dropbox is because we're going to take that same raw file and upload it to Facebook. Okay. One, for you to have your video on YouTube, what you have to do is upload it to YouTube, optimize it like you normally do. You guys, if you have the 3 lead per day training, that'll show you how to do that. But what I like to do with Facebook is to get more visibility, to get more looks, and Facebook will share your video more, is you want to upload that same file, not from YouTube, but from uploading that video directly on Facebook. Okay. So, because Facebook will favorite that video than you sharing a YouTube video. Okay. And then we can boost it later too. So you're going to share social media 2 ways: through the blog post, which will have your video on there, which you're going to first upload to YouTube, because that's the only way you can put it on your website. And then the other way you're going to push that same content is by uploading that raw video onto Facebook, because you're going to, again, so there's 2 ways that you're going to market that video. Okay. Okay. Now, you guys want to go 1 extra step? What I would do is, I'll be honest, I haven't done it, but if I had to, I would do it. I mean, I'm really good at SEO, so my website is ranking very well. So what I would do, here's my tip: do this for all your pages. So what I would do is I would create one video for Pittsburgh. I would create one video for Greensburg. I would create one for Monroeville. I need to personalize that. I'm not doing a good job of that, but you get the point. I'm going to create one video for every city page on my website. So each video is going to say, hey, if you need to buy, we're here in Pittsburgh. I'm driving around this neighborhood. I'm on my way to go see Don. Don, has a home that he needs to sell because he wants to move to Panama. He needs to sell fast. So, or then I'm going to create one video for Lawrenceville. Hey, I'm here in Lawrenceville, Pennsylvania. I'm going to go talk to Joy. Joy needs to sell pretty fast. She got a great job, but she needs to move tomorrow, and she doesn't have time to list the property with a realtor because she knows that can be a timely process. So you see how I'm kind of getting into benefits and the cons of listing with the realtor. I'm getting that into my story. Okay, so if you really want to go above and beyond, create one video for every city page of your website and put that video on your thing. So this one, I probably need to update. Nope. So for some reason, I don't have the frame, and then you're going to put it on your city page, just like I did on this one. Okay. Or also create a blog post around the subject of what your video is about. Okay. Then also put the video in the city page. So you see how and see what all this is doing, and what you're going to cover more is we're personalizing and boosting the site. Okay. And again, you're not spending anything. It's just a lot of time, right? So, again, that's one tip, is do this for all your city pages. So again, just to review, shoot a video around a subject. The best one is probably on your way to looking at a house, or you're just out driving for dollars. Create a story. And then in that story, talk about the pros, the cons of the situation, and the pros of how you're able to provide a solution for that con. And then, of course, ways that people can get in touch with you. Just make sure you're putting some keywords into what you're talking about, but make it natural. Don't say "we buy houses" every other sentence. It's going to be terrible. Make it natural, make it flow. But if you can, put some keywords, and also make sure that you're mentioning your name. You're also mentioning your city, which would be for whatever city pages you have. And then from there, again, rev.com will transcribe it. Take that transcribe text, take that text, create a blog post, clean it up, put the video that you created in it, take some screenshots, and then do it that way. Okay, and then share the heck out of social media. Right. So, and then if you really want to go above and beyond, do this for all your city pages. Yes, it's a lot of video, but it's worth it. It's worth it. That's why I want you guys to set up a system so you guys can knock it out quick and easy. Okay, and fast. Okay. Barry, what program do you use for a text graphic? I use Stuplex. It is this one here, STUPEFLIX. I personally have the pro version. Let me tell you why. There's nothing wrong with going with the free version. The problem with the free version is it's in standard, which is not the full width. It's in standard format. It's not high quality, and then Stuplex puts their branding at the end of the video. I just don't like that. One thing I like about the pro account is it's like $40 a month, and what happens is I get the video in HD, which is what Google likes. And you might think, well, it's only text and graphics and music. Why should I get an HD? Google likes YouTube likes HD, because remember, it's about user experience. So Any edge that I can get, I take it. So to me, and plus I do a lot of videos, so it makes sense for me to pay that amount. Okay, so that's what I use. So kind of the pros and cons of the free account, which you can use if that's fine. If you guys want to do that, it's a great place to start. At least you're doing something than nothing. But I like the um, um, paid version just because of the HD. There's no branding, and it's just a better quality. So let me know that you got that, Barry. Cool. All right. So, all right. So, any questions on this section here? Be creative, but effective. Anything that I need to clarify before we move on? Let me know as soon as possible, because I want to make sure I answer questions while it's still fresh in your mind than later. Awesome. Cool. All right. Hey, Barry, by the way, did Sean get a hold of you by chance? Let me know. Also, Barry, I use Investor Fuse for my CRM. Investor Fuse. They're Podio based. I just like them because they have everything put together for you. So that's how I use Investor Fuse. Oh, cool. All right, good. All right, no questions. All right, let's move on. But again, this is one excellent way, guys. I mean, we could have done this whole call just on this alone. Because again, this is one way to do it. And if you guys need help, please let me know. Okay. How do I get an edge in direct mail? Um, uh, yeah, Felix, here's a good one. Should we put our logo on videos? If you have a brand and if you're doing direct mail, yes, because you want your brand to be exposed as much as possible. One of the things that we do in some of the markets that we're in is I don't do this, but I do consulting with some, because I do a lot of testing. I love working on projects that really gives me insight. So I work with a client in a really heavy market to where he sends a bunch of direct mail, right? So what we did is we took all the zip codes. Actually, this is probably fit into here in this next slide. What we do is he has a really nice brand. The brand is perfect with the message. His business name happens to also kind of communicate the benefits, so it was perfect. Like me personally, my business name is Anez Investments. I probably wouldn't really use that for branding because I don't like to use the word investments with sellers. For some reason, there's a negative tone to it. And plus, investments means different things to different people. Because financial companies, insurance companies are using that word a lot now. So I just don't like to create confusion. So, but anyway, so what we did is he created a bunch of testimonial videos. He created some videos of him and his wife, and and then what we did is we created files to where we put logos, his logo in his video, and then in Facebook, we took that video and boosted that video in only the zip codes and areas that he's sending direct mail. So let me tell you why we did this. We want to expose that image, that name to that area. Because if that person is in Facebook in that zip code, they're going to see his brand. Now, is it more than likely that this person is going to be the same person that get his mail? Of course not. Very unlikely. But here's the thing. If that one person sees that video and they see that logo for a quick second, it's kind of imprinted in their brain. So what happens is that if the seller comes back, if that person a week later, let's say, gets this postcard which has his brand on there, the idea is that this person will say, "Oh man, this looks so familiar. I must know these guys somewhere." Because remember their brain saw that image once before, and now they're seeing it again in front of them. Because most people tend to trust just a little bit more on something that's familiar to them. The only time people are become cautious is when it's something completely unknown. Okay, so that's one way that you can use your logo in your videos is maybe do some blog posts, um, or some uh, post boosts inside of Facebook from videos. Put your logo in there and just get people familiar with it. So yeah, so I think there is added benefit to put a logo in your videos if you're able to do that. Just get your logo in the PNG transparent PNG file. Okay, so you'll see. Actually, it's in here. Yep, just this is a PNG file. You kind of see he has a logo in this thing, and he's also a logo on the shirt. So he's a lot more uniform. And in his market, the reason why that's so important is because his market is the medium price point is very, very high. So more than people are going to be educated, and they probably tend to be more comfortable in dealing with a company than a person because he's in a very high end area. So that's the reason why he does that. But again, you just have to have to choose your gut instinct on what's best, the personal approach or the company approach. It just depends. Okay. So hopefully that helps. All right. So cool. And and hopefully I don't sound sexist, guys, but you ladies that's on this call, video should be your best friend. Stats show that people are more comfortable with women. Like in all of our follow-up emails that we do, we put my acquisition person's name, Kate. I never put in mine. Okay, people they're just a softer approach with women. So if you're a woman and you guys should be on video, you should be really kind of coming across with that motherly nature. Even if you're not a mom, it's in you. So that's something you guys should be leveraging. Okay, but okay, all right. All right, cool. So Felix, did that make sense about the logo and having your logo in your video? All right, cool. All right. So how can I get an edge in direct mail? Kind of back to what I was saying. You know, you guys should be leveraging your direct mail with your website. Now, I know in the past it has been said, and I still agree with it to some degree. So I'm not saying that it's wrong if you don't put your website. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying be open to trying it, testing it. Okay. But here's the thing. I know a lot of people have said do not put your website in your postcards or your yellow letters because it's not personable. Okay. Now, I believe that. At the same time, something to take in consideration. Times have changed. 5-10 years ago, that might have been really, really great advice. But here's the thing that has changed. Mobile has changed everything. A really quick example of this is 6 months ago, 6 or 7 months ago. I know I've shared the story before, but 6 or 7 months ago, I wanted to upgrade my BMW. I had a 3 Series, so 3 Series BMW, and it was just small. Okay, I have 3 little ones, and I just couldn't take all 3 of them if I wanted to. We always had to take the SUV. So, but anyway, so I want to upgrade. So the next one I wanted was a 5 Series. So here's my point. I was thinking about this, and I could pay cash because I don't buy new vehicles, by the way. I usually try and purchase 2-3 years old vehicles. So I was kind of in the market for. I said I don't know if I want to. I could pay cash, but at the same time, I don't want to tie that all into a vehicle. So what happened was I got a letter. This is so strange. I got a letter in the mail. Okay, in the mail, got a letter, and it wasn't really branded. Okay, it wasn't, but it was really good that I opened the letter. Okay, I was curious. Something got me curious. I should have recorded what it was because I'm one of those guys, I can't be sold easily. But this letter got me. It got me to open it because I was curious. So they did a good job. So anyways, I opened it up, and It was an offer. It was like some ridiculous amount of interest rate to finance a vehicle, because what I was going to do was just take an investment, um, and then just have the investment pay for it. I mean, work out the legality somehow, but that was kind of my plan. Was I didn't want to pay cash on it at all. So wanted to, I could easily take that cash, buy like a small rental, whatever, then let that pay for it. But anyways, this company sent me this letter and said, "Hey, we got offered this, and it's a company I've never heard of." So I was suspicious. I said, "Man, this is too good to be true." Or I wonder if this is legit. Remember, objections. We're suspicious beings and natural, and that's what one thing you guys have to understand. Sellers are just the same way. You know, sometimes we think that sellers should easily understand what we do. You know, when you really think about it, guys and ladies, when you really think about what we say we do, like we can offer a closing in 7 days, we can pay cash. If you really think about it, that is so, it's too good to be true. You got to think that way. That's why in a lot of marketing, I like to take the skeletons out of the closet. I tend to speak what there might be concern about, and I immediately say, "This is not a scam. There's no gimmicks. We don't play games. There's no catch." Those are the things you need to bring out of the closet. Okay, so you always got to understand that people are going to be suspicious. So, anyways, when I got this letter, it told me, I said, "Man, I wonder if this is real," because I was really interested, and there was no branding on it at all, but a company name at the bottom. And what did I do? First thing I did was I grabbed my phone because it was the easiest thing to access, and I went online and Googled their business name, because it wasn't because I wanted to get more information. It was because I wanted to first know that they were legit. I wanted to know this was real, that they're a real company, because I never heard of them before. It wasn't your traditional credit card offer. It was really different. But come to find out, it was real. And come to make a long story short, I used them, and they financed my next BMW. So that shows you how people tend to turn to the internet more for credibility, and now more so because of mobile. So a couple years ago, I can see why that was kind of the thing to teach, but I just don't think is as irrelevant as before, because mobile has changed everything. So if you're sending a mailer to your people are more educated. People are more suspicious, especially after 2008, 2009. People are more educated, a little bit more, and so they want to know exactly who you are more than maybe before. So that's why mobile gives them that ability to check immediately. So if you guys are not, I would really encourage you guys to test having your mobile, or excuse me, a domain on your postcard, just for credibility. Don't solicit your website. Don't say, "Hey, to get an offer, go to my website." Just say, put something very simple. "Hey, check us out." Or to learn more about us, go to our website. And if you guys want to really test to see if it works, get a very short domain from GoDaddy or whoever you use. Get a very short domain. Think about what would be easy to type in if someone was typing in your domain on mobile. You want to make it easy for them. So make it very short. It could just be 3-4 letters. And then what I would do, and then have that domain redirected to your homepage. Because if they opt in, the source will reflect that domain name on your Carrot site. So that's one way to test it. Okay. Or set up a squeeze page, set up a landing page to where you can redirect that customer to. Okay. So, yeah. So, and also, you guys have access. Make sure that you guys are go back to this one. Go into the blog post and really dive into this blog post Trevor did about how you can use your site if you're doing direct mail. There's some really, really good insight. So I just wanted to share with you exactly just kind of some summarize on how to make sure you're tying in your website, even if you're using direct mail. Don't be afraid to use your website, even though for years and years have been said don't do it. But times have changed. Times have changed for sure. So something to consider. All right. Social media, again, one of the get active with social media. I know one of the most successful investors out there. He's actually a Investor Care member, Brian Harris. I think a lot of you guys know Brian Harris. He's out of the Memphis, or I think Memphis market, um, Tennessee, and he's a Carrot member, and he's very, very active on social media. Now, in terms of how many of those will produce leads for you, it's hard to say. You will have to be more patient with social media, because you got to think about it. Most people don't turn to social media first when they're finding a solution, especially a motivated seller. Most will turn to Google first. Okay, because Facebook is really more of a coffee shop, so people tend not to go there first to find us that solution. Okay, but you still want to create those blog posts. You want to share those blog posts, because it just takes that one person to see it, and they may share it, and that leads to that right motivated seller. Okay, so this is kind of your low hanging fruit, something that everyone can do, and you don't need a budget to do it. Okay, but at the same time, you guys have to be patient with it. Okay, be very patient with it. You got to reach a lot of people on social media before you get that get that lead. Versus Google, you probably only need to reach a handful before you get that one good solid lead. Just simply because people go to Google first, at least motivated sellers. Okay, so now if you guys do want to spend some money on social media, you can boost your posts. Back to this article, back to here. Implement this first. Get some original content. Now, don't get me wrong. All of you have the Content Pro articles, so you guys can leverage that if you want. Okay, so I'm not saying those are not good. You should at least be using the Content Pro articles to be active on social media with those. But this right here is original. This is all you. This is you being transparent. This is you being the head of the company. This is you doing more than what your competition is doing. Trust me. If there's 5 Carrot members in your market, and they're just kind of using the Content Pro articles, again, which is better than nothing, do more than that. Do this right here, which is the shoot video, Rev, blog post, and then social media. Okay, so, and here's one of the cool things with when you boost a post, you have the ability to choose and create your own audience. So an audience could be create an audience that is just specifically in your zip code. Okay, or like what I've done with this sites, and it's kind of similar to pay-per-click. Is with pay-per-click, you can actually choose just what zip codes you want to target. That keeps your costs down. Okay, and that will filter out everybody else, because I know, like with my wholesaling, most of my buyers don't want to be directly in the city. So that's why on my pay-per-click and even on Facebook, I target just by zip code, because now you're focusing in on just those areas that you want to target, and that will actually keep your costs down. Right. So what I do is, here's another tip too. If you guys are going to use the Content Pro articles, change out the blog posts. Don't just do it for your main targeted city, but you guys can actually change out the market city by doing the override. I'm not sure if you guys knew that. So when you guys post a new blog post, don't always choose your main market city. Choose some of the other cities that you're targeting within your city pages. So you see here, this one's for Pittsburgh, but you see how this one is Mount Oliver, because that's a hot area in that market. So I created a blog post just for that area. So all I did was, when I set this up, I just overrode the market setting, the market city settings, and just change it to Mount Oliver. So don't just go after one area with your blog posts. Choose other areas around your main targeted city. Okay, so that kind of helps there as well to kind of change things up. All right. So again, do the same thing. Take those blog posts and make sure that and then share that city. So that's one of the things I'm doing in locally now. I'm still working on the SEO, but I know this area, there's a certain zip code that's been really high in foreclosure. So I'm running blog posts that talk about foreclosure in those zip codes. Okay. So again, that's all strategy. So I'm not just blindly just taking a post and just advertising them everywhere. I'm doing it strategically, and that keeps my costs down. And plus, if I get a lead in that area, it's probably going to be a good lead because it came from an area that I'm really interested in. So that makes it more time um, tile. So hell yeah, reach out to support on that. Yeah, it's a non-related. Yeah, let me get you over back to support on that one. Hell, give me just a second. All right, get you back over there. Okay. All right. So again, social media is one way to do that. Man, time's going by so fast. And also, if you guys are going to be on social media, okay, this is one of the biggest things I'm seeing. If you're going to share stuff on social media, make sure your message is strong. Don't be broad. Okay. Do not be broad. Because you don't want, because here's the thing too, most of the society, when you say real estate, they think of traditional real estate. So we've been programmed, society has been programmed that if you're going to sell your property, you call a realtor. There's that default knowledge of how certain industries work. So remember, so when someone sees your ad and talks about selling your house, they probably are going to think initially that you're a realtor. Okay. But you got to make your messages strong to really really communicate you're not a realtor, you're a cash buyer. Because what's going to happen is that you might start getting a lot of traffic to your website. So you might see that 200 people went to your website from Facebook, and your concern is, wait, what's wrong? Do I have a conversion issue? What's wrong with my website? I got 200 people to my website, but no one opted in. I hear that a lot. It might be that it wasn't because there's anything wrong. It's just you're sending the wrong people are going to your website because your message is too broad. They probably think that you're a realtor. So, and maybe that person just happened to be that needs a realtor. But what happens? They get to your site. Now they say, wait a minute, this is one of those house buying sites. I don't want to sell to them. I thought this was a realtor. Then what happens? They bounce. So it's not that anything was wrong. It's just the wrong people are going to your site. And again, the same thing goes for pay-per-click. If you guys are doing pay-per-click, you got to make sure your message is strong. Okay. Make sure that there's no misunderstanding of who you are and who they think you might be. Okay. So make sure you guys, especially with social media, because remember, they got all type of stuff being thrown at them. Okay. So just really stand out in what the solution you provide and who you provide it for. Okay. So, okay, awesome. So, so again, when I say make it about the message, make it about the benefits. Okay, make it about the benefits. Most consumers, most people looking for something, they're in it for them. They're not trying to help us grow our business. So I would be careful in always saying how we buy houses, how we can do this and this. Again, those are good. We should do that. But we also have to become good at communicating the solution that we provide. Okay. Make it about them. So a good example could be that, we close in 7 days. So you can be done with that property in 7 days. See, that's a benefit. We buy as is. So there's no need for you to fix up the property for us to buy it. That's a benefit. You got to communicate what's in it for them. Okay. So that's going to really help you be more clear and help you better understand. They'll better understand you. So there's no misunderstanding. So when they do come to your site, now they're engaging because they feel like You are who they're looking for. All right. Um, this is something. This is something not. You guys hear this all the time, all the time. Okay, but I got to review this. You got to personalize. Personalize. So many people get caught up in saying there's other investor care members in my market, but you know what? There's always something you can do to make yourself different. Now, and a lot of it's just some personal stuff, right? So, me personally, see, this is what people see first. Okay, this is your presentation immediately, because they don't see the stuff down below because this is what they see. This is what's called above the fold. So to me, this is what really needs to really set the tone. And for me, it starts with a logo. Now, there's kind of, I mean, everyone kind of does it differently, but me personally, I like to communicate the solution on the front end because remember, this person that's on your website didn't just land on your website. Okay. They started by doing a search. They went through all the entire process of them doing their query. Google gave them some selections or options. Now they're clicking. Okay. So just imagine this person's browsing. So it's kind of like sticking their head inside your store without going in. So you got to make them feel like, hey, this is the store you're looking for. Because if they don't feel like it's the store they're looking for, they're not going to engage. They're going to keep walking. So for me, if they stick their head inside my door, my logo is really what's going to help them figure that out immediately. Because they only have like 5 seconds or so to commit whether they're going to stay or go. That's why I like to use something that is very clear. Like this one, I have an image of cash in a house, and I put cash for houses. Local and trusted home buyers in the state of Ohio. Okay, so I've kind of personalized it specifically to Ohio. And I use red because very few people are using red. That was in the top on the first page, basically. So I kind of changed it up. So again, now there's nothing wrong with putting your business name, but if your business name is ANES Investments, you tell me, if you're a motivated seller, which one's going to be more compelling? Cash for houses or ANES Investments? Which is going to be more compelling? Okay, so neither one of them is wrong, but one will hook them more. Okay, so for me, motivated sellers, I like to communicate on the front end more of the solution than talk about who I am. Again, on the front end, you still want to have your credibility stuff, like your testimonials. You want your company page to be filled out. Put a picture. If your competition is not putting a picture there, put a picture. Now, if everybody in your market is putting a picture of themselves in the company page, be the one that does a video introduction. You know what I mean? There's always that next step that you can take that nobody else is taking. Okay. So you got to be very, very, if you guys belong to the Better Business Bureau, one thing you could do is, let's see, you might have to get someone to do this for you, but if you belong to a some type of credibility thing, like I helped this guy see how his logo's there, but we put his credibility right here on top, because remember, this is above the fold. Okay. Now what I had to do was he had to create a logo file that was long. So it's not that we dropped this in separately. This is one large file right here. It's a long horizontal file. That's the way. So we basically just took his logo, put a tagline, and then we also put this here. I like to make the logos horizontal, because if you create a logo that's more vertical, it pushes the site down. Okay. All right. So that's an example. So again, it's all about doing things that nobody's doing. So if I see that nobody is showing anything credible, and you happen to belong to something that's credible locally, be the one that shows that above the fold, just like this person did. Okay. Um, so that's a great example of what I mean. Again, it's all about studying who you are. So, um, man, time went by so fast. So, what I would do, all right, let's see. You guys have time? Yeah. So, Paul, yeah, I don't trust that source at all. I don't at all. That might just be spam that's coming to your site. But yeah, that's just way too many. Those are usually when you get that much traffic, it's too good to be. It's not right. So usually when I can diagnose an issue by the amount of traffic that's coming in, and if you're getting like a lot of traffic, that something's wrong. Actually, believe it or not, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't even retarget those. I just would not. I guarantee it's being blocked. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hey, Felix, let's see. All right, cool. All right, man, we're running out of time. All right, I'm going to quickly. So again, personalize. Here's a tip. Check page 1 and page 2 of all the sites that are ranking and see what they're doing and what they're not doing. So I would use We Buy Houses or Sell My House Fast and your targeted city and just go through each website. Look for opportunities, so here's a good example. If they are because remember, part of standing out is breaking pattern, because like I told you, in this market, everybody was using different colors, so I use red. My purpose is I want to break the pattern. Just imagine someone going through multiple websites really fast and be the one that sticks out, that's odd, as they're going through the sites. When I mean odd, I'm just saying more breaking the pattern. Hopefully that makes sense. But see what all the other websites are doing, so again, if they're not being transparent and they're not introduced themselves, be the one that does that. Now if everybody is introducing themselves and putting their picture on their site, be the one that does a video that's introducing, and then just transcribe that video and put into text. Again, really really simple stuff, guys. So you just got to really find opportunities. Like right here, here's a great example. Back to my website. Uh, I noticed that a lot of traffic was going to my to my FAQ page. I noticed a lot of people are going there. So what did I do? I leveraged it. So what did I do? Nobody in my market was all plain text for their FAQ. So what did I do? I changed it up. I was the one that put some videos into my questions. And what did I do? I got creative with it. So basically, that's me actually asking the question. So I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. So that's me. My voice is the one that's actually asking this question. And then the video it goes over to her answering the question. So it's a little bit different video. I kind of got creative with it. So again, I asked a question and she simply answers it just like that. Okay. And I did that on another question here. Okay. And I get a lot. Let me see how many views. Let's go back over here. Yeah, not bad. I mean, 188 views. I mean, this is all organic, real views. So that one has 188. And this one has, very interesting. Let's see. I'm curious on something. This one has 363. Very interesting. So you kind of see that, guys. So this video has double the views on this one, but the one that has double the views is the one up here up top. You see how it's so important above the fold, what people see, because they might have gotten this far and they thought that was it, but if they scroll down, they would have seen this video. So you see the importance of positioning. Okay, so Okay, so yep. So yeah, just again, those are what I mean by find opportunities. Don't go with the flow. To do things that people are not doing, and if they are doing it, do it better. Take it to the next level. Again, these are things you don't have to pay for. These are just you putting in a lot more work, more creativity. Okay, but again, personalization is key, 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 key. So all right. Again, it's based on capitalize on the laziness of your competition. Figure out what they're not doing, figure out what they are doing and do it better. You know, um, and again, I don't mean to sound sexist, but if you're a woman, leverage that. People are more comfortable with women. So be in front of the camera, put your picture on your homepage, introduce yourself. Don't make everything about branding. Make it about being trustworthy, being credible, being transparent. So sometimes people want to, because here's the thing, people want to do business with someone that's going to follow through with what they say they're going to do. That's a character trait. And that character trait is attached to a person, not a brand. Okay. Even though they're just kind of the same thing, you got to really put yourself in that person and make them feel comfortable. Okay. So don't be lazy. These are some stuff you guys can totally um, um, implement. And again, level the playing field. Again, leveling the playing field, a lot of it's just mindset stuff. Okay. And just making the time to do it. All right. So that's really about it, guys. I mean, I pretty much, and stopping right at the 4 o'clock. That's my time point. So if you guys have some questions, stick around. If you guys have to go, thank you for hopping on this call. I really hope you got value. Um, I hope you really got value out of this call. Please give me some feedback. If this is something that really helped, we can continue to do these type calls to where we're touching on a little bit more advanced, and then more advanced, because I don't want to stay on the basic stuff, because I want you guys to continue to grow. But give me some feedback on this particular call. Let me know if it helped, what did help, and just any feedback. Would love to know, because we want to continue to make these calls better and make sure that we're meeting you guys where we need to. We don't want to talk about awesome stuff if you guys just ain't there yet. If you guys need a little bit kick in the butt, we can do that too, just to kind of make sure you guys are moving along and you're not holding yourself back. But any feedback would be awesome. Also, if you guys have questions, we can answer them. But if you got to get going, don't let me hold you. Just want to thank you for hopping on this call. I know that it's 2 hours of your time that I highly respect. So hopefully it was worth spent. So make sure you guys are jumping on next week's call. And but I'm going to stick around and answer some questions. Why do you have landing pages for each page of your Pittsburgh site? Yeah, so that it's mostly for SEO service, for SEO reasons. Don, is I want every page to rank on its own when someone does a search in Google. So what I mean by that is, I mean, so here's the reality of it. People are not going to find these pages by going through your home page, because they're the same thing. The idea is that these are going to be found specifically if someone does a search for that area. The only reason why I put it on my home page is I do a lot of backlinks. And I want those backlinks as it comes into my home page to feed these pages, because I want the backlinks to also feed the city pages, because as it feeds the city pages, these pages will also rank very high. So that's the only reason for it. So it's more of an SEO strategy on why it's on my home page. But the reason why I create separate pages is because right now Google does not know that Canonsburg is the same as Pittsburgh. So that's why you got to be very precise with Google, because they don't know that Canonsburg is a subsidy of Pittsburgh. So if someone does Canonsburg, it's not like they're not gonna know to tie it up to Pittsburgh. So for an example, like Greensburg. So if someone in Greensburg does a search, obviously I want them to find the Greensburg page. that's going to be more relevant to them, and they're likely to more engage with them because it's going to make them feel like, hey, there's a company right here that deals in my area. That gives them more confidence. So, yep, see right here, it's ranked #1 for that market. So that's how they're going to originally find it, not through this. They're going to find it by them doing a search specific in their area, and I'm hoping that my page will show up. And here's some my video too. I'm not sure I understand though, Don. I understand, but you have landing pages on each page of your site. I'm not understanding by landing page. I mean, each city page is its own page, and this is just a sidebar. This is just a sidebar that appears on every page of the site. So maybe that's what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean by landing. These are landing pages. So each page is a page on its own. So this one's a page, but it's just focusing on Canonsburg. This one is, these are all separate pages. They just have different cities. Grace, I'm media shy, so I have to get over it. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the mentality you have to have for sure, Grace, is that, you know what, I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Like for me personally, like a lot of people were going to my company page, and for a long time I didn't have a picture. But when I started having people go to my company page, um, the way I look at it was, wow, if that many people are going to the company page, it must be important to them. So I kind of you kind of have to use it as an indicator. So now I said, okay, if they're going to my company page, it probably means they want to know who I am. And if I'm leaving this page blank, I'm just doing myself disservice because I'm still putting myself behind the curtain. So what do? I found a picture of me and the family that actually was at the Pittsburgh Zoo, and I put it here, and it was more transparent. And I'm a private guy. I don't like. I'm just. I don't. I don't mind behind. I don't mind being behind the scenes guy. I'm very private, so I don't like to put myself out there. I'm even the same on social media. I just don't do that. I'm just because I'm private. But I had to kind of just like, okay, is my business, is the growth of my business and the trustworthiness I'm trying to create, is it worth losing because I won't put a picture? So I kind of had to get over it too. So it's worth it. Trust me, it's totally worth it. But hopefully that helps, Grace. Let me know if you need help with it. Of course, reach out anytime. Okay. Awesome, Kathy. Great information, very helpful on hands-on info. Great. Um, yeah, Stephen. Let's see. Yeah, for that. Yeah. So what I did is I hired someone on Fiverr. Okay. And all I did was I provided the script and I paid her just to provide the answer. And then what I did is one thing I'm really good at is video editing. So I kind of leverage that. Of course, that's not going to be someone everyone has the ability to do, but I just kind of leverage what I was able to leverage. Everyone in this call has something they can leverage that can be an asset to them. So for me, it was video editing. So what I did is I paid someone on Fiverr. I just gave her my script, which was really easy, which was this. That was it. And then I think I probably paid what, $10, $15. And then I just took that video and put it into my editing software, and then just made it one whole file. So that's how I did it. Which domain should I use, and also which ones should redirect? Uh, my rule of thumb, man. I mean, the only reason why there's value, I wouldn't do any redirect unless there's value in the domain. So, like for me, I have a website that I did a lot of SEO and backlinks to, but I don't deal in that market anymore, but it has a value because of the backlink. So now it makes sense for me to redirect that to another website because now those backlinks are going to provide juice to my new website. So I just wouldn't do redirect just to redirect, unless there's a reason to. And if it's just because you got a bunch of domains, that's probably not the reason why to redirect. There has to be a good reason why you want to redirect, not just aging. But my reason for a redirect is if that domain I didn't want to use anymore, but I did a lot of backlinks too. So my rule of thumb is for the motivated seller site, I like to use something that's more, hey, more of the solution. So sell your North Carolina house fast.com, or we buy North Carolina houses fast.com. You kind of see the point. And then if I have a credibility site I'm also launching, I'll get my actual business name with I'll get a domain with my actual business name and use that for the credibility site. So it's really up to you. I mean, I really don't want to make that decision for you. It's your business. But I can, that's the way I would do it, or how I do it is just for a motivated seller site. Just use something that is like mycashforyourhome.com. That's a good one. KendallCashHomeBuyers.com. So you got plenty of good ones. Just feel what you think is going to compel most with your market. And then I wouldn't be too concerned with doing redirects unless it's an old domain that you've had backlinks done on. Because other than that, there's really going to be no value, at least for SEO. Or unless you're using that domain that's out there that you put on some marketing pieces, then that makes sense to redirect. But there's really no need to. Yeah, so just use your best judgment. You can really use any of those. This is going to be matter mostly preference. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, Grace, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, but you just gotta have to do what you got to do. But hopefully this call help you though. All right. Yeah, Skylar, that's cool, man. Hopefully, that's awesome that you're able to do that. Cool. All right. Awesome. Yep. Andrew, we'll talk to you soon, buddy. Paul. Okay, got that. Joy. Hopefully you got a lot out of this call. Yep. Barry, investor fees, you got it. All right, cool. Looks like I got all the questions answered. All right, I think that's it. Thank you guys again for joining us for this call, and we will talk to you next week. All right, thanks, guys. Have a great day.